Do you want to know how to solve problems with the help of AI? In this video, I will show you how to create a cool illustration using artificial intelligence. Get comfortable and let's go. This time, I wanted to create an illustration with one of the most beloved characters for many of us, Harry Potter. However, at first, it turned out to be not so simple, and I encountered a little problem that I solved with the help of artificial intelligence. So now I am going to show you the process of creating a full-fledged cool illustration that took me only 6 hours, whereas drawing everything by hand from scratch would have taken several days. But let's start from the beginning. So, first, I decided to simply Google some references for my future illustration. Googling is actually a broad term. I just went to Pinterest. I wanted to draw something interesting. For example, like Harry Potter chasing the snitch on a broomstick during a Quidditch game. However, there were quite a few pictures like that. They were all very typical and standard, and I didn't have time to search for special frames in the movies. There were a few good ideas that I liked. For example, this picture. But still, it wasn't exactly what I was looking for because they looked very realistic. I was aiming for a more cartoonish look for Harry. More Disney-like. So I continued searching. But as you can see, the results were not so good. However, when I started searching for cute baby Harry Potter, I realized that the internet is filled with many generated images, including ones with Harry Potter himself. And although I didn't find the references I needed, but I understood where to go next. So, I opened the Playground service page, which I already loved for its convenience, and started generating the references I needed. By entering the appropriate prompts, I began receiving very decent results. I could already see and understand how to use them. It was exactly what I needed. I tried different word combinations and also chose suitable filters for generation, and in the end, I got a sufficient number of good references that I could use later. Now let's save all the pictures we liked on the computer and transfer them to Photoshop for work. After that, I arrange all the pictures on the canvas so I can select the best shots and combine them into a composition. I decided not to draw the picture from scratch but to leave the details that I liked. Then if something is missing, I'll just add it. So, to start, I create a collage of illustration details to see what I'm missing and roughly add those elements or details. At this stage, I'm still experimenting with the collage and trying to improve the illustration somehow. It's not necessary to stick to one option, it's always worth trying and seeing what works best. For example, here I decided to try a different leg position, and it turned out much better. Overall, I'm satisfied with the character's pose, so now I can start drawing various details and refining the background. We add the iconic scar and don't forget the tape on the glasses because we remember that Harry often had them broken. Now let's change the clothing color to red because that's the color of Gryffindor's uniform. I won't make the pants white. better leave them as they are. In this way, the silhouette will be more readable. Working on the clouds, I didn't know whether to make everything in one layer or split the illustration into several layers. But then I realized that if I split the illustration into layers, it would be easier and more convenient to work on the background. So I took some time to separate Harry from the background. Initially, I wanted to hand draw the silhouette of the school and its towers. But after a while, I realized that it could take a long time. So I decided to return to the help of artificial intelligence and find the castle parts that would suit me in the generated pictures. But that's a bit later. Now I continue to build volumes and light shadow on the constructions of the school. For now, I decided to switch to rendering other details. Hands, legs, the uniform, and so on. You can watch the speed up video. It took some time before I realized that my visual library in my head wasn't enough to draw the hand independently. So I decided to use, guess who? Myself. Yes. If you can't find a reference you need, you can always take a photo of yourself. That is what I did. Actually, the hand in the photo above is mine. For now, that's enough with the hand. Now we need to draw what it will be catching. Our golden snitch. Let's repaint the old pattern. For our snitch, we will create our own. To do this, we use the symmetry tool. And then through transformation, I try to adjust our pattern more or less in shape. Using the bevel tool, I create volume for our pattern and give it golden colors. Now we can create the wings. Using the same bevel, we create the base. And with the pattern, we create the main mass of the wing. We add dynamic blurring to the wings and the snitch. Now we can continue with the background. We refine the sky and clouds where we missed earlier. And more detailedly separate Harry's head. After that, we continue detailing our character. I'll jump ahead and say that my left hand didn't turn out well the first time. So I'll revisit it at the end of the video. Now let's move to the broom. Of course, our broom is an imitation of the legendary Nimbus 2000. I deliberately didn't make an exact copy of the name, but made it similar to the original. I think it turned out quite recognizable. To be honest, at first, I also didn't want to accept AI tools, and was against them. But when I realized how useful they could be in work, not only for artists but also for other professions, I decided not to reject them, but to see them as an additional tool in my work. Personally, I believe that it's not necessary to refuse AI assistance at work, because the artist still retains control over the idea, details, or overall vision of the artwork. Of course, if AI manages to immediately guess what the artist wants to see, then the generated image can be kept. But as we see in this example with Harry Potter, it's not that simple. The artist is needed to skillfully arrange all the details or add specific accents. For instance, how do you tell AI to make Harry look at the snitch while having a golden reflection in his glasses? Only the artist can add these nuances. And these nuances fill the artwork with a special life and soul. The artist knows what needs to be left and what needs to be added to make the picture look complete. For example, if we're playing Quidditch, where are the rings? Why not add them? Let's add them in the brightest spot, so they stand out against the silhouette. And of course, why not add a trail behind the broom from the high-speed flight? That's why, I think, ignoring AI is not right. You should use it just like many artists use 3D or other additional tools. But let's get back to the picture. We're almost finished. As I mentioned, this hand didn't leave me at peace. It looked very strange, and the artist himself could see that something was off. Understood what could be improved. Something that AI won't be able to handle. Finally, I found the right angle for our hand. And now I can touch it up a bit and finish it. Overall, it was a pretty interesting experience. My portfolio gained another piece. And Pinterest gained another Harry Potter reference. Leave your likes if you enjoyed the video. Write in the comments what you think about artists using AI, and whether you use it in your work. Well, this was Andy. See you next week. Bye.